So there was a guy in England who was an art critic that I knew from the radio. And he was not born a wealthy man or blue-blooded, but he had adopted this voice, which was far more posh than anyone who ever spoke. He had this unbelievably strangled, vile sound, and people always said this. It was so ridiculously over the top. And I thought, if I did something a bit like that, combined with this guy who had bullied me at drama school, a teacher who was a close talker, he'd wait until the people were in, he'd walk up to me and he'd go, "Nobody likes you, Issacs. You'll never work. You're in the wrong profession." Stuff like that. I thought if I could combine those two, I'll come up with a voice that will sound like fingernails on a blackboard. And as soon as you hear his voice, you're just going to want to punch him in the face. I ran it through the first rehearsal, and Chris Columbus came up to me, who was the director of the first two films, a really lovely, lovely man. And he said, he'd already allowed me to completely change the way he looked and the way he dressed and everything. And he went, "Hey, Jason, can I just ask you something? I'm American. I don't really know, but like, has there ever been anybody in the world, like, or in England or anywhere, that's ever spoken like that?" And I said, "No, it's a fair question. It is a film about wizards, so I'm making a bold choice." And he went, I don't know, man. It's kind of strong." And then Daniel Radcliffe, who was about 12, was standing next to me, thank God, at the time. He went, "I think it's really cool, actually. I think like kids will be doing imitations in playgrounds." And Chris went, "All right, okay." And then every take we did, literally every take, he'd come up and go, "All right, we got that, fantastic. Let's do one more, and maybe just pull back on the voice like 80, 90%, like that." And I go 80 or 90%, and I wouldn't, because that was the only way that I knew how to do it. So, but the voice was designed just to make you hate him, to hear both him sneering at the world and also this defense he puts up, because inside he was a scared, most bullies are cowards, and he was a very scared coward.